What's good, YouTube? It's your man Rage King back with another one. Yes, another upload to the channel. And before we get started, I ask if y'all would please get on there and hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that share button, and hit that bell for notifications if you're new. Welcome to Rage Rants TV. This is how we do Rage and Rebels. Crown up. And if you're new to the crew, welcome to the Rage and Rebel Revolution. Now let's vibe. And y'all. Football is officially back as of tonight. Now, unfortunately for us Texans fans, yes, I am a huge Texans fan. I'm going to die a Texans fan. I don't care. However, even though it's not Houston Texans football being played tonight, we got to wait till Sunday to see how Texans take the field, to see those Bulls on parade take the field. That's not going to stop me from talking about it, man. And I want to talk about a particular Texan, specifically Davis Mills, man. Now, for those who've been sleeping under a rock, Davis Mills was the guy that we drafted last season in the third round, and it made a lot of people scratch their heads, especially because at that time we still had Deshaun Watson. There was no telling whether we were going to keep him or not. There was no telling how the Deshaun Watson situation was going to turn out. Now we're past that, and I can honestly say Davis Mills, as of this moment and this upcoming season, is the single most important player the Texans have right now for several reasons. Allow me to explain. If you take a look over here to your right, look at his 2021 season stats. Guy started 13 games, right? In 13 games on a horrific team that had no consistent running game, absolutely no offensive line past Laramie Tunsil, absolutely nobody on defense, and this guy is still putting up 2,664 yards, which was 26th in the league with 13 starts on a bad team. 16 touchdowns for a first-year player with a bad offensive line, no running game, and no defense, and questionable coaching. Only 10 interceptions. He had less interceptions than games played as a rookie on 13 starts and a bad team, poorly coached. And QBR, that's kind of suspect, but we can honestly say the last 5 games of the season, this QBR was up a lot higher than what this is now. Here's a reason why, one of the reasons why Davis Mills, in my opinion, is the single most important Texas player, not even for just this season, but going forward. The quarterback position, for anybody that's watched football for any amount of time, or almost any level, that's not Pee Wee. The quarterback position is the position you absolutely need to have a team be successful. Not saying that you absolutely need, or you need a top 5 quarterback to win Super. Not necessarily the case, but you definitely need a guy that takes care of the football. You definitely need a guy that gets big third downs, that keeps the chains moving, and you definitely need a guy that if you have weaknesses on any other part of your football team, he can cover up for it. I.e., if you got a bad offensive line, guess what? Get the ball out quicker. Hardly any running game, guess what? Mix in play action passes with the running game so the defense is always on their toes and not knowing what. You keep them off balance that way. You understand what I'm saying? It's little subtle things like that. You understand what I'm saying? You got a team that doesn't have any defense, guess what? Find a way to have longer on-field possessions when you're on offense, i.e. having a running game, having a short passing game, using all the play clock to keep your defense off of the field and keep the other team's offense off of the field as well, exposing your bad defense. You understand what I'm saying? Davis Mills is not only the guy that took that took over the position that Deshaun Watson in his situation completely left wide open, but with a bad team, questionable coaching, no offensive line, no defense, hardly any running game, first-year player putting up these type of numbers and still had more touchdowns than interceptions and less interceptions than games started. That is very impressive. But here's the thing. Though he had a very impressive rookie season, and go look at the highlights, guys. Go look at the highlights. Davis Mills showed all kind of promise. He showed all kinds of flashes that he has the potential to be a top 15 quarterback in the league someday. Sooner rather than later, barring injury. But see, here's the thing. That was season 1. Hardly anyone knew who he was. Now people have had an entire offseason to game plan for what he is and what he's going to do. This upcoming season determines the next 10 years for the Houston Texans because of this man, Davis Mills, right here. If he performs good, if he continues to show progression and show that he can be a starting quarterback in this league, that completely changes the dynamics of our draft, the upcoming draft we got, the next couple drafts we got. The next 5 to 10 years are predicated on this upcoming season for this man right here. Is he required to win a bunch of games? No, because let's just be honest right now, with the draft capital that we have and the suspension of Deshaun Watson and the Browns, I honestly don't think that winning a bunch of games this season is in the Texans' best interest. I don't. I honestly would take and just make sure that this guy, Davis Mills, has everything we need to build around. Make sure he's the guy we want to build around. And if he does show promise that he's the guy to build around, guess what? Now we can start building around him. Get him more pieces on the offensive line. They started the construction on the offensive line this past season, this past draft, drafting Green from A&M. You understand what I'm saying? Drafting Green, got him some defense, got Derek Stingley Jr. back there doing his thing on the defensive end. So you can slowly but surely start plugging in pieces that he needs. Oh, and don't forget about the running back that had an impressive preseason, this past preseason. A very impressive preseason. I would love to see what he's going to do this upcoming season as well. So you can take Davis Mills right here. If Davis Mills has a good season this upcoming season, statistics wise, if he can show promise on the offensive field, if he can do all those things I stated earlier, get big third downs, keep the offense on the field, score, don't turn the ball over. That is a quarterback you can build around. You can build an offense around a guy like that. You already got Brandon Cooks out there. Nico Collins was showing little flashes of being pretty decent as a slot receiver last year. If you continue to put pieces around this guy, Davis Mills, and build around him, if he has a good season, this is the guy you build around, and the rebuild will happen sooner rather than later. However, if he performs bad, the Texans are back to square one. They're all the way back to square one. And correct me if I'm wrong, but this upcoming draft of quarterbacks is deep. Very, very deep. There are rumors that this is going to be one of the deepest quarterback draft classes we've seen in almost a decade. Future NFL Pro Bowlers down the board when it comes to quarterbacks. Potential out of this world. So Davis Mills is the single most important Houston Texans quarterback for the simple fact, if he performs well, we build around him. If not, we go back to square one and have to hope we find a guy in the draft that can replace the superstar quarterback we once had in Deshaun Watson. I'm not talking about what he's done off the field, talking about Deshaun Watson. I'm only speaking about on-play production. If Davis Mills can produce, the Houston Texans have a quarterback to build around, and the rebuild will be over sooner than later. However, if he stinks up the joint, if he pretty much pulls a Tom Savage, the Texans are back to square one. They're back to square one, and that's yet another 5-year setback the Texans have to deal with. I believe in this guy. I want to believe in this guy. But this upcoming season will determine if he's going to be the quarterback of the future, or if he's just going to be another guy that was just a system quarterback that just got the benefit of people not knowing who he is to put up these kind of numbers on a team that bad. I'm going to close the video out on this. When I see these numbers right here, looking at everything that worked against the guy, I have to see a full season of him with people not only game planning against him, but with seeing what he does being the full-time starter. There have been talks out of the camp. The guys, he's commanding the offense better. He's becoming a leader. You want to see that, especially in a young quarterback. You want to see that. But can the on-field production match what we've been seeing in practice? Match what we've seen from him in the last 5 games of last season? I want to believe in this kid. I do, but only time will tell. But that's just my opinion. Y'all let me know down in the comment section if y'all think Davis Mills is the answer at quarterback for the Houston Texans. And do you also think he will have a good season? Do you think he is the single most important Houston Texans player this upcoming season? Like I do. As long as y'all remain respectful and logical, we can have a conversation. But that's the end of my video. Hope y'all enjoyed, and I will see y'all in the next one. Have a good day.